When you think of research, what comes to mind? Many would say white lab coats, microscopes, test tubes, and other tools of scientific research. Others may bring up hours spent between the library stacks on a dreaded research paper for school. Some might even joke about a Big Sean song.
These girls be doing research. I swear, she like, this piece of hair off in the sink ain't come from me first. No.
Even if that research is for personal reasons, it is a type of research. Research like this and other forms happen every day, and as long as there's still curiosity, there will be research to back up the questions we have. Research goes into every decision that impacts our daily lives. It helps build our communities by helping those in charge meet the needs of the people. In our consumer society, it's imperative for businesses to conduct market research. Market research is the process of gathering, analyzing, and interpreting information about a market, about a product or service to be offered for sale in that market, and about the past, present, and potential customers for the product or service. Research into the characteristics, spending habits, location, and needs of a business's target market, the industry as a whole, and the particular competitors they face. Market research helps companies design and build products that meet the needs of their consumers, everyday people like you and me. So, what goes into market research? In order to understand the process of market research, I did some research of my own. I read through online articles, journals, and materials for marketing courses I've taken in college. I also reviewed YouTube videos of interviews and explanations to compile information and insight into the marketing field. Here's what I found. The marketing information system encapsulates the people and procedures for assessing and developing information for decision makers in order to fulfill customer and market needs and wants. Market research is a small but vitally important part of the marketing information system. The marketing research process can be broken down into 4 key steps. These steps, of course, generalize the process, and each project will tweak the steps to fit the needs of the research. However, these steps simplify the often complex and drawn-out process. Each step in this process builds upon the last to present clear, definitive findings in the final research report. Step 1. Define the problem or opportunity and research the objectives.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Good evening. There is likely no other country in the world where an evening broadcast such as this would begin with the news that a popular soft drink was going to reintroduce its original formula. But this is America, and Coca-Cola is part of Americana. This is a story of big business, enormous advertising, and a company that found out the hard way, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The old Coke is coming back.
In the early 1980s, Coca-Cola began conducting market research as to why they were losing market share to Pepsi. In 1985, after 4 years of research, Coke decided to change their classic cola. They rolled out New Coke, toting a new formula, and a new set of problems for the company. Coca-Cola's researchers failed to follow the proper steps to the market research process, and they paid dearly, angering customers so much they began protesting and petitioning the company to reinstate the old Coke. If they had followed the proper procedure for market research, they may have prevented such a large blunder. Businesses, or the companies they hire, begin a marketing research project by looking at the problems facing the company that prevent them from achieving their goals. There are a number of problems that might impact that goal, but researchers must dig through these problems to find the root cause, the true root cause. Otherwise, it's like putting a Band-Aid over a bullet hole, a temporary and potentially costly fix in the long run for companies like Coca-Cola. It's important to ask questions in this stage in order to narrow the boundaries of the study. Researchers start with exploratory research, descriptive research, and casual research. In exploratory research, researchers gather information about the problem to help define it and craft a hypothesis. During descriptive research, researchers collect information to describe the marketing problems, situations, and/or markets. Casual research is the testing of hypotheses about cause and effect relationships that have to do with the market problem. The researchers then write out a goal or objective for the research to help solve the problem, as Coke had to do after rolling out New Coke. They found that returning to the original formula was what consumers truly want.
The Coca-Cola Company originally had no plans to return to the old Coke, but after the enormous outcry from consumers and attention from the media, senior executives say they saw an opportunity for everybody to win, above all, Coca-Cola.
Step 2. Developing the research plan for collecting information. Based on the information gathered in the problem evaluation stage, researchers put together a research plan. The research plan is typically a written proposal. The proposal should cover the management problems, research objectives, information to be obtained, how the results will help with decision-making, estimated research costs, and the types of data required, whether it be secondary or primary data. Secondary data is the information that already exists and is collected for another purpose related to the problem or objective. Secondary data is often collected from internal company databases, commercial online databases, internet search engines, or libraries and other physical research centers. Researchers use this information because it is cheaper and faster to collect than primary data. Primary data is information collected for the specific task or objective. A primary data collection plan involves decisions about the type or types of research, observational, survey, or experimental, data collection methods, mail, telephone, interviews, and their online versions, and the sampling plan. Researchers decide on the types of research based on the type of research results they are looking for, qualitative or quantitative results, or even both. So, what is qualitative research?
Qualitative research is about understanding people's feelings, views, experiences, and opinions in a highly flexible, fully probed way, in a conversation. Oh, that's interesting. Why do you say that? Someone else says something different, and you get really inside their head as to what's going on and why they believe, think, or do something.
Then, what is quantitative research?
Quantitative research, by contrast, is about delivering robust, statistically robust, I can define that another day, percentages or evidence that perhaps your board might be wanting or looking for. It might come up with 73% of customers believe this, only 29% of prospects believe this. And armed with that knowledge, you can make some good decisions.
Okay, so these are pretty different. How then do they work together in market research?
We often work in tandem with quantitative research, where we're used to come up with the response set that they're going to use in quant. And again, to answer the whys after quant has been done.
Once researchers decide on the type of results they want, they can then decide on the type of research they'd like to do that would support that result. The types of research include observational, survey, and experimental. Observational research is the gathering of data through observing relevant people, actions, and situations. It is primarily qualitative. Ethnographic research is an offshoot of observational research. For ethnographic research, researchers enter the customer's world and can better understand how the consumer thinks and feels in relation to the products. In the video, the researchers use a pair of high-tech goggles to track how the woman shops and what she gravitates towards. During observational and ethnographic research, researchers send trained observers to watch and interact with consumers in their environments. Observational research helps researchers gather information that people aren't willing or aren't able to give. However, it is difficult to observe feelings, attitudes, motives, or long-term or infrequent behaviors with this type of research. Survey research involves gathering data by asking people questions about their knowledge, attitudes, preferences, and buying behavior. It can be both qualitative and quantitative depending on the nature of the questions. As you see in this video, the internet has made this type of research quick, easy, and cost-effective while still gathering a large quantity of results. Experimental research involves gathering data by selecting groups of subjects, giving them different treatments, controlling unrelated factors, and checking for differences in responses. This type of research is typically quantitative, but can easily be qualitative as well. As you can see in this video, participants were selected in the town of Bakersfield to test the new dessert from Taco Bell, while others received the normal Cinnabon Delight dessert that the company already sells. Their responses were recorded and used to test whether or not the company should sell the new dessert. Step 3. Implementing the research plan, collecting and analyzing the data. Implementing the research plan is a three-part process: collecting the data, processing the data, and analyzing the data. Data collection is the most expensive phase and is highly subjective to error. Data processing is when data is checked for accuracy and prepared for analysis. Finally, data analysis is when results are tabulated and computed in order to be used in a final report. Data collection methods include personal interviews and focus groups, mail questionnaires, telephone interviews, and online marketing research. In the video, Jimmy Kimmel spoofs the political focus group with his segment, Out of Focus Group, where the children get off topic while discussing the presidential election. In market research, a real focus group is a type of personal interview where 6 to 10 people are invited to discuss a product, service, or organization, or in the case of the video, a political election. Personal interviewing is highly flexible with control over the speed and process of data collection and response rate, but it comes with a high cost per respondent and interview bias. Mail questionnaires enable researchers to amass large amounts of information at a low cost, gather more honest responses, and reduce interview bias, but they are inflexible with low response rates. Telephone interviews enable researchers to gather information quickly, with great flexibility and strong sample control, but it comes with higher costs, interview bias, and a limited quantity of data able to be collected. Online marketing research takes on the different forms of research and increases the speed, low cost, flexibility, and high response rate of each, though it is difficult to control the sample size and quality of that sample size. Internet marketing is especially suited to quantitative research. Sampling is the process whereby a researcher chooses the sample or samples for his or her study. A sample is used to generalize results, or represent a larger group of people, for a selected population. Participants must give consent to be studied. Market researchers put together a sampling plan to choose participants. The plan requires a sampling unit, sample size, and a sampling procedure. Participants are chosen either through a probability sample, including simple random, stratified random, and cluster sampling, and a non-probability sample, including convenience, judgment, and quota sampling. Step 4. Interpreting and reporting the findings. The final step involves interpreting the findings based on the analysis, drawing conclusions in relation to the problems and objectives, and reporting the results to the management. As you see in the video, the speaker prepared a presentation with statistics, images, and graphs to visually back up his oral report about the market research he conducted. Presentations are a common way to present findings, though written reports are also a popular way of delivering them. Now, you can listen to his presentation to get a better idea about how market researchers present their final research.
But we appear to be slowing down a bit, and I think we'll probably hit a peak this year at 81% because we have a number of new, innovative, and disruptive technologies.
So now that we've gone over the steps in the process, what have we learned about research, writing, and knowledge building in marketing? Well, marketing relies on research. It's one of the crucial steps in the marketing information system. Without research, products would fail to impact consumers in the way businesses intended, if they even work in the market at all. Research helps marketers find the right products for a clear and present need amongst consumers, the market, or both. Writing is essential to any market research project, from constructing the research plan to crafting the questions to preparing a presentation for management, investors, and more. You have to be able to write well in order to get a focused project with accurate results and clearly communicate those results with higher-ups. Finally, markets are constantly evolving. Knowledge building through primary and secondary research is critical to staying competitive. Incorporating preferences, economic fluctuations, growing needs, and more of the market acquired through knowledge building helps companies keep up. In market research, it is imperative to always learn and grow. Marketing is a massive field with many opportunities for research, and using the steps we learned today, you can easily find success in your inquiries. So go on, start exploring.